Cut My Way Out podcast. Tune us in. We on the grind I put the clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. Yeah, I put the clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. I used to dream as a kid on the porch of the crib and make it big, and one day.
And once again, welcome back to the I Cut My Way Out podcast. I'm Kenneth Jenkins at Kenneth Jinx1 on the gram, and that's pretty much where you can find us. Our Instagram podcast page is I Cut My Way Out _pod, I think, but that's crazy. I don't even know the ID. I just go to it.
That's what it is.
But,
that's what it is.
But yes, I'm joined by my gracious and humble dear friend and brother, podcast co-host at A_Knox the Barber 4. As you can see,
Absolutely.
we have company, and we will bring him in. Definitely a wonderful guest and privilege and honor to have him on. So we're gonna get talking to him real shortly. But before we introduce him with the fire bio that I know you have, how you been?
Man, I've been good, man. Finally got over this COVID thing, man. I'm about 90-95%, man. It was rough.
I was back in October. I had that. I was in the hospital.
Woo! Wow. We want to touch on that too. Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Man, I bounced back. It was rough, but I'm doing a lot better.
That's great, man.
Yep. So yeah, we're gonna get the ball rolling, man. I'm going to
go ahead
bring
with the fire intro.
So, man, today, for all the listeners, man, we have another very, very special guest, man. An extremely acclaimed barber, man. Veteran barber, been in the game for years. We're going to talk more about that. He's straight out of the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Father Barber, man. I've watched his work. I followed him. He is anointed with his hands. Just a mean barber and has a mean following and a mean name. Is truly respected in the industry, and it is a pleasure for us to have him on. And without further ado, got Father Barber for you. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, man, thank you for having me. I mean, I appreciate you guys. Definitely looking out for me to be on your program. I was looking forward for it. I'm ready to go, man. I like doing podcasts. I like talking to the world.
That's what's up.
I just like talking to, anything doing about barbering, just, the male universe, dealing with health, fitness, wealth, of course, the barbering brand. I'm a veteran, 30 years in the game. And
that's what's up.
I just look to inspire others, to be entrepreneurs.
And that's what we're looking for, man. So as we dive right in, man, of course I've followed you, and I follow a lot of barbers, a barber myself, and your work speaks for itself, man, and truly entertained just by the work you put out and the things that you're doing. But can you also tell us and the listeners, tell us who Fa is in your journey as far as a barber, and how long you've been in the game doing what you do?
Well, my name is Faheem Alexander. I've been practicing barbering, for about 30 years. I mean, I started in the 90s, in Philadelphia. I mean, barbering has always been dominant in Philadelphia and well spoken to the male universe forever, since the 70s. Barbering, with Teddy Pendergrass and Sound of Philadelphia, our grooming has always been to the forefront in Philadelphia. So, I always wanted to be a barber. My mother was best friends with the local barber in Philadelphia, in South Philadelphia, my neighborhood at the time. In the 80s, we were real good friends. So, without saying, she got me my first little job sweeping, my mentor's barbershop. And once I touched the clippers, man, it just was on from there. It's just the power, I felt with the clippers was something that I wanted to do. I wasn't athletic. I didn't play sports or nothing like that.
Okay.
I was an art student. I always got A's and B's, A+ in art class, man. And I said, Mom, found out what I want to do. It's like 1990, 91. You know, I want to cut hair, mom.
Okay.
I asked my mother to buy me a pair of clippers, busting hard. And I said, Mom, you buy me a pair of clippers. And I meant it to her. I said, you ain't got to buy me nothing else for the rest of my life. Because I'm going to take care of us with barbering. I mean, us as a whole. You know,
Wow.
our culture, you know, our family, you know, my children. You know, I said, I'll take care of you, Mom, you know, my family, you know what I mean, through barbering.
No doubt.
So I truly meant that.
Wow.
And I held up because this is what I asked her. So, you know, I held it up.
That's what's up.
So, you know,
That's
rest
what's
in peace to her. I owe it all to her.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Wow. That's so you started at an early age. So at that point, you know, once you started sweeping the hair, you were around the barbering.
Around
you know,
the barbers, you know, the local hustlers in the neighborhood, you know, the ball players, just around
everything.
everyone before these words, you know, were spoken, influencers,
Okay.
people that mover and shakers, people that were someone in the community. You know, I was around the people at the time in the 80s and the 90s that made my neighborhood, you know, do circles. So I was around them, all the business guys, you know, whoever was who, you know what I mean? I was around them, and I was one going to the store, making the store runs, go get lunch, you know, keeping the barbershop clean. You know, it was just something that I wanted to do.
Right. So you were groomed in the barbershop culture.
Yes,
that's what's up. So at what point did you say, okay, I want to be a professional, and what was the process for you to get to that status?
I mean, definitely from the beginning, you got to go through cutting everybody on your block that you live on, you know, your relatives. You know, you go through that, all the children in the neighborhood. You cutting the underprivileged children and families, you know, in your neighborhood for free or for $5, you know, just to get to learn how to cut hair, you know, and a lot of stuff that's going on today, like the home services and stuff, all that stuff was done back in the day. Just was never like thought of into existence, you know, home services and stuff like that. I was doing it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And you know, it kept me out of trouble. Kept me, you know, finished high school. I didn't go to barber school. Actually, my mentor went to barber school, and he met people. He met a gentleman by the name of Howard Myers. Howard Myers was a barber school teacher at a school here in Philadelphia, Tri-City Barbering School, and he helped with the apprentice on the side, you know, outside his job. So I got my barber license under an apprentice. You know, I for less the time. Just got out of high school, so I still was fresh off the study. So I went right into it. You know, in high school and right after high school, I dived right into it. You know,
that's what's up.
You know, I said I couldn't go to college. I went to college. My mother didn't have no money. You know, I just I'm going to use these hands, and I'm going to work, and I'm just going to figure it out. You know, what I mean, I figured it out. I got blessed. I got extremely blessed. I met, you know, Black Thought of the Roots from our friend, Air Smooth, rest in peace. You know, just right time, right place. You know, God was good. I was able to service the Roots over 15, close to 20 years. I just pulled out about a year ago.
That Illadelph Dynamite, huh?
Right. You know, I just pulled out about a year ago. Bless them. They helped me out, understand a lot about business, the entertainment industry, and everything. You know, just to pursue my own goals. You know, I wanted to be my own brand. You know what I mean? I learned all of this working in the entertainment community. You know, how just to do about just about anything. And just recently, you know, not recently, it's probably on my third contract. I came in contact with Gillette out at the what's the name? Lee Bosnick, Barbershop Connect. You know, he has his a big events, and his first event he was out in California, Los Angeles. It was a really neat show, and I believe Gillette sponsored the show at the time.
Wow!
So you know, they were there, and it's like, you know, I approached them, and I said I always wanted to work for Gillette. You know, how does that happen?
Right.
And you know, they were looking as we were looking. You know, I was looking. You know what I mean? I just stayed persistent with them, because Gillette has always been a part of the barber community, with shaving and grooming. So you know, I just always wanted to put, you know, our culture on it. You know, African American culture, which is a big.
I was just getting ready to. I was just getting ready to form a question, but go ahead.
Yeah, you know, You asked me to talk, man.
No, you
So,
answering it.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So, just pushing the culture forward. They're very nice people at Gillette up in Massachusetts. I went to the headquarters several times. Just like a regular, you get a young man out of any community and you introduce him to the rap business, the hip hop community business.
Right.
It's pretty much the same way. So
Right.
I knew how to navigate myself through it because I worked with the Roots for so many years. So I knew how to navigate myself. I worked at Jimmy Fallon show for 10 years. So
Really?
I learned business. I learned how that business work. How they translate that down to the community. How do they translate that down to the dollar?
Right.
I learned all of that.
Right. So not only are you a veteran, you seasoned.
Oh,
you
very.
done
I'm very
done it up.
seasoned, man.
That's what's up. So and Jinx, jump in whenever
For sure.
you feel. So as I watch you, get busy on Instagram, I noticed the shop and I'm fond of just kind of watching shops, the background. So do you actually own your shop that you're in?
I not only own the shop that I'm in, I own the building that the shop is in.
That's what's up.
And that's a goal.
Salute.
Thank you. That's a goal.
We get used to we normally have had effects that I can put in. So I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to do some funk flex bombs. Okay,
Right.
No, that's what's up. That deserves a woo woo.
Yeah. How long have you owned the building and the shop?
2017. I purchased the property. My landlord, my landlord that I had for 16 and a half years was an Italian brother, man. Truly, truly, truly a blessing. I told him this particular building here, I've been watching it since when I first started in the 90s, 1994, 95, cutting hair.
Wow.
And it was on a busy strip in South Philadelphia, which is called Snyder Avenue. And I used to always say it was a barbershop before, but I said, yo, I want this barbershop. I spoke things into existence. I said, I want this building. I want this barbershop to be a foundation in the community. I want this to be home HQ, like forever. And fast forward 5 years later, God heard me. In 2000, the gentleman that was my landlord, he just purchased the property. And I was the first person to inquire about the barbershop because it was always a barbershop. So I was like, can I rent your place? He said, give me your information. I'll get back with you in about a week.
Okay.
So he called me in about a week. Hey, come down to my lawyer's office and, sign a lease. You can get it. I said, for real? I said, I'm on my way.
Right. So
this was in 2000. So, fast forward 16 and a half years later. And prior to that, I told him, John, when I get my money straight, I'm going to buy your building. And, I had some real estate property going on here in Philadelphia and I was able to sell it.
Okay.
I got a nice number for it, and I just took that money and just put down to get into a mortgage. Like I said, it's all about who you know. My landlord, he's very very connected, very seasoned. He's best friends. He's best friend. Hey, boo boo. He's best friends with the gentleman that runs the bank. So he was able to, our friendship that we had that I built with him. He took me to the bank. He got me a mortgage. Some nice money, I put down, I put down on this and and here I am, I've been here for 20 years, to be 21 years this year. And I just pretty much changed the interior. This is the latest interior right here. It's the latest.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that
looks wonderful.
When I see you,
and it's crazy. I have two shops in here. This is just one.
Wow.
Yeah. Then the second one is down here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nice. I love those inner city type.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
With the exposed. Yeah. That's.
And I'm renovating this area, so it's like 3 rooms. This one right here that's tore up. I'm ready to start renovation on this one. Probably about another month or so.
Okay.
So I'll have 3 shops in one.
Okay.
And I have real estate upstairs, two apartments.
Well, I got a goal to get to Philly, and I got a goal to sit in your chair and visit your shop.
Oh, no, definitely.
no doubt.
Definitely, man. So you guys got some questions for me.
Yeah.
I want to answer them for the audience and
Yes,
to the
sir.
best of my knowledge, and just make this an interesting conversation.
Absolutely.
So, the ball is in y'all court.
Okay,
Okay.
I have a question. I know I was just, when you were talking about growing up and just how the shop that you became inspired by, kind of just kind of gave you the inspiration because the people that moved and shook your community, um, frequented your shop. I'm the type of person, on this platform, uh, I need you to stun a little bit. Can you throw out some names that we might know, being in Illinois, that done came through the shop, that you done?
I mean, people that have came through here, Method Man
Okay.
came through here. He was here shooting a movie in Philadelphia called Concrete Cowboys.
Okay.
Like I said, the Roots blessed this place for many, many years.
Okay.
Beanie Siegel, Meek Mills.
Okay.
Actually, it's crazy, right? Kids Say the Darndest Things, which was a Bill Cosby, show in the 80s. In the 80s, I got a call from a producer from Los Angeles, and they were scouting some areas in Philadelphia. They wanted to shoot the show in Philly because we have a young lady here that was 9 years old at the time. She was the youngest female barber at 9 years old, and she was making airwaves and stuff like that. So they wanted to bring that show here.
Okay.
They contacted me because I was the only shop open on a Sunday. So I had Hollywood in South Philadelphia. With Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish was in South Philadelphia. She recorded her TV show here, and this was wildly amazing, man. This was like 2019. That was pretty dope. So I blessed Tracy Morgan for a little bit. Rick Ross. As I said, Rick Ross got him a few times.
You done rub some elbows.
No, definitely. I mean, I definitely rub some elbows. I'm definitely known through the universe as far as barbering and stuff like that.
That's what's up.
And one more question. One more question.
No, you good.
Just about, just with us being in, not in Philly, and just going off of what we hear, can you kind of quell the stigma? I understand that it's probably some truth to the stigma the stigma about South Philly and some of these places that some of our rappers and entertainers talk about. But
I could speak for South Philadelphia, which I am from. So Beanie Siegel started out here. That's my childhood friend.
Really?
Elementary school. Yeah, he went to elementary school, grew up in the same neighborhood. Just as a tough guy image. He's a tough guy image that he bought the Rockefeller records that Rockefeller didn't have.
Oh, absolutely.
It was authentic because this is how you had to be in South Philadelphia. The gangster, he's very artistic. He's very artistic, Beanie Siegel. A lot of people don't know that. He's very artistic. And he's
a mean MC. Mean MC.
Outside the rap, he's a really good dude. And he can draw very well.
Wow.
The rap and stuff like that. So he painted a pretty good picture of how it is growing up in South Philadelphia, and he hit it right on the nose. And it's one of them things, life imitating art, man. He started to imitate that into his lifestyle, and he couldn't control it. With the drug abuse and stuff like that. It hurt his career. You know what I mean? It's just one of them things, like a lot of us don't know what you have in your hand, or don't know what to do with what you have in your hand. Some people have a hard time articulating it into business, and that's where he kind of had trouble with changing that into business. And Jay-Z said, I'm trying to give you some game to transition from the street to the fame. Some people had a hard time breaking that down. Meek Mills at the first had a hard time breaking that down. Going back and forth to jail until Jay-Z pulls his coat. Young man, let's go this way. You know what I mean? And smarten up and change, because they'll get rid of you in the hip hop industry. Just as easy that you came in, easy you out the door. You know what I mean? So he had to, he had to slow down and understand what he had in his hand. So, he's doing real well for himself now.
No
So I
doubt.
mean, so that's the I know that it's, guys aren't, guys are really painting an accurate picture, but I see brothers like yourself that, I know you, are older, but
I could have went that way,
yeah.
but I know where that leads you. Two
Right.
places where that leads you if you want to play them cards.
So are you a rose that grew from concrete?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Death or prison. You're
Right.
guaranteed that if you want to pay that gangster rule.
Absolutely.
Gangsters ain't no retirement plan being a gangster. No retirement plan.
Not at all.
So it's either you got to smarten up, like you see, like the Italian mob, which was the Italians were embedded in South Philadelphia since the 1900s. So you had the Italian mob in South Philadelphia. That's where it started. Angelo Bruno. You know what I mean? He was the mob boss, in the 60s and 70s, and he got killed in the 80s in South Philadelphia. But either one that was one of the one influential. With the gambling and all that, and the racketeering and all that business stuff. The Italians had a strict business model, and they made bank and millions of dollars and translated that into a corporate entity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I know that person. So it's like that's kind of like what we had. And they had like the Black Mafia in South Philadelphia. That was the African Americans side of the Italian mafia, you know what I'm saying? And very, very distinguished gentleman, kept the neighborhood safe, you know what I mean? And, also, there was a lot of, turmoil with that. And, a lot of people lost their lives and stuff like that. Of course, I wasn't even born when it was going on, but the stories are so deep. The stories are so deep. The stories are so deep embedded, here in South Philadelphia. It's like, you learn them stories and sometimes, you get to meet some of the people's families who was involved in that stuff, man. And it's kind of like, you take bits and pieces from that. Because either you want to play them cards or you don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was all right. My mom wasn't no joke. My mom, Tootsie wasn't no joke. So it's like, you could try that if you want. You know what I mean? You my son and you ain't jail, you ain't. I said, Mom, I'm not, Mom. Like, I don't have no desire for that.
That's what's up. So for me, Philly in and of itself has a lot of history.
A whole lot of history.
You said go ahead.
It's like Chicago, you know what I'm saying? The Black Mafia, the Black, just deep, you know what I mean? We had our own, you know what I mean? We had our own. And it's like, I studied that and I looked at that. And it was some very, very smart men. Like I said, the, what's his name? Like Bumpy Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Dude was a genius.
Right.
And it's like, I read those books. I look at the documentaries, you know what I mean? I look at that stuff and it's like, that stuff was important for young men that wanted to be businessmen and translate from the street to the fame. You know what I mean? People use those models still today. And it's like, I look at that and it's like, these guys had the respect in the neighborhood. These guys had businesses, Black businesses in the neighborhood. 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, Blacks were, had those corner stores and shoe shops and barbershops and hair salons. And they just was, it just was for me, learning that was just phenomenal because it's like, I want to keep that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the first Black barbershop, in this neighborhood or on this street that's dominant.
Right.
And I want to
say inspiring.
Right. I'm inspired by, what the history of African Americans, the Black culture in the city. I'm inspired by that. I'm inspired. And it's like, I'm strong enough, everybody knows me. I can cut hair. I said, I want to keep that same thing up. But the positive side of it, not negative, just the positive side of it, I want to take from that, the positive side.
Right. So one of the things I've always wondered, just with the whole Philly thing, I follow Black Thought is one of my favorite rappers. Benny Siegel at his height is one of my favorite rappers, and just the style, AI, with the 76ers back to Julius Erving and, Moses Malone. I've always noticed being a barber and even young, being fond of just the industry in and of itself, that beards were always big for Black men in Philly. Right.
Well,
I
like
always
I
felt
said,
like it was the capital of the Black men's beard. Tell me a little bit
it
about
really
that.
is. Like, Philadelphia is a big Islamic community as well.
Okay.
So, have like the Sunnah beard. So, you
Mm,
got pop culture, your Freeway wearing his beard.
okay.
And I'm practicing Muslim as well. So, you have that. You have hip hop culture. Remember Teddy Pendergrass?
Absolutely.
Teddy was like probably the first person I can believe the beard.
Right.
And he put that on a platform that was before its time.
Right.
He's singing and having this nice beard, and the women, they used to throw their panties on the stage.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I have heard the stories about that. People that know him.
Right.
Sound of Philadelphia. The people had their beards. Black men had their beards back in the day. The 60s and 70s. You know what I mean? And it was just dominant.
Yeah,
It's one of them things that just a cycle. It goes around.
Right.
And it came back. Now you had in the 90s, you had Black Thought, which I was blessed to service, and start shaving his beard up, and he started rapping about it, and he just ignited the platform again.
Right.
And then you got Freeway come around. He just ignited it. Okay, now you got Rick Ross before he got signed. He used to hang in Philadelphia with the major figures.
Okay.
He took a little bit wherever he went. He was ultra talented, but he took pieces wherever he went. He started wearing his beard real heavy, and he just made it he just made it like a mascot, man.
Right.
He rap about his beard. Dark skinned brother.
Right.
And he just loved his beard, man. I had like I said, I had a opportunity to service him before.
Right.
Like I said, I have a nice story career that that I myself have taken part of and also engineered it.
Right. Okay. So another thing when I think of history, and it was several years ago, I used to follow Davita, the Clipper Queen. And
she's from Philadelphia. Her and Gerald, they were married at the time.
Absolutely.
And they kind of pioneered the black color, like the black dye.
Absolutely.
Dye
they had that chromatone.
The pencils and the spray, and they took that and they went to Atlanta with it down south. And,
okay, so they took it there, because I remember
they went down Atlanta with it, and did really well with that.
Okay, because I had a conversation with her one time. I called, I'd ordered some, and that was years ago. And she was kind of telling me, its origins for her and her husband. And so, was that something that you would say was kind of pioneered there? And what's your outlook on enhancements?
That, like I said, enhancements with the color, definitely influenced by Philadelphia from the beginning. Because before that, people used to use the black stick, like the color. You know what I'm talking about? The black stick.
I think
like
so.
Okay. Now, before the dye and stuff like that, people used to heat that up, make it hot with the blow dryer. To melt a little bit. You take like the beard and mustache wax. You take take the little brush, and you brush a little bit up into the outline, and you shape it up. So that started in Philadelphia.
Wow. Okay.
Then around that time, that's when the Beijing came.
Right.
Because you can move the Beijing around while it's wet.
Right.
Shape somebody up and put them under the blow dryer. To rinse it out, you got the same stain that you put on your beard and shape up.
Right.
And that became widely popular in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And Fort Wildfire. Now this is before social media, so you didn't see it.
Right.
So we had one magazine that was out here that was called the Solid Gold magazine.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carlos Payne. He was the first social media for barbers.
Right.
In Philadelphia, and as well in the country and the world.
Okay.
Because he had a magazine, and like I said, if you had a shop, and if you're owner of the shop in the '90s, had bankroll, he put you in his magazine, and it helped showcase a lot of us. Because we were getting calls before social media to my barbershop. How do you do that shape up? How do you do that Philly point? How do you do this? How do you do that? People would physically call them on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot Philly. That point was synonymous with Philly as well. With
Philly Point.
Yeah.
So Philly,
Wow.
I'm not a barber. I mean, I say that in every episode. So what's the Philly point exactly? Just
The Philly Point, like the shape up here, and you shape and you go around. You put a nice sharp point at the end.
Right.
Okay.
And some people used to wear their beards.
Right.
Have a point at their beard, so it'd be
Yep.
split.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And that's the Philly Point.
Philly Point, yes. Philly
Okay.
Point.
You stunting on us. I like it.
Hey,
I mean, that's what you asked.
solid.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I love it.
No doubt.
I love it.
No
Like,
doubt.
yeah, that's what you're here to do. You're here to do that. You
Right.
earned
That's
that.
what I'm here for, man.
You've
You know
earned
what I mean? I'm very proud. I'm very happy. I feel like I'm just a part of the culture of Philadelphia. You know what I mean? As far as barbering, like a distinctive, person. You know what I mean? Like the barber gods, prayed for me. Listen, you're going to take over Philadelphia. You're going to run with Philadelphia. You're going to keep Philadelphia at the forefront.
That's what's up.
Besides myself, you got Mr. Kenny Duncan, who's very popular in Philadelphia. And our two names, get mentioned a lot. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely ring bells, man.
Mm-hmm.
So as a veteran barber of 30 years in the game, and you having your hands in other things, how do you stay motivated and how do you stay on top of your game after 30 years?
I mean, I look at guys like Rich Paul and LeBron James. I look at these guys. These are young men.
Mm-hmm.
They come from the inner cities of Akron, Ohio. It's no different from Philadelphia.
Right.
And LeBron, of course, with the basketball talent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, he translated that, man, into something phenomenal for himself and his friends and, his family. He turned these guys, he said, listen, you guys are going to be in position someday. So y'all got to, they groomed them and they ready.
Right.
And, these guys run Fortune 500 companies. They all got groomed to run it. So, I look at that and it's like I keep it up for barbering aspect. And it's like, yo, I'm gonna use their motto and put it in barbershop layman's terms and just keep it up because there's going to be other young men and women that want to be in barbering.
Right.
And it's like I'm in a position that I can get sponsorship deals and stuff like that. They don't make it. I can do I can get sponsorship deals and that translate into opportunity and money. And
that's what's up.
I want that to be firm, and I want that really, really to be. That door to be open, especially for our children in Philadelphia, and in the schools, like, if you don't make it in sports or anything like that, like barbering and Faheem, he is the clutch sports for barbering in Philadelphia. Like, he has the sponsorship deals, he has the companies and stuff like that. Like, let's sign y'all to some endorsement deals, because the younger individuals, they're very good with that computer and they're very good with that the marketing and advertising and stuff like that. So, I want to keep that up. I do entrepreneurship. I do entrepreneurship out here at one of the local high schools. They did Zoom. They just wrapped up their winter projects and stuff like that. And like a lot of them, they weren't going to be barbers and stuff like that, but I was able to share with them the knowledge that I know, being entrepreneurs. And I use that to help them. I talk about the LeBrons, and LeBron plays basketball. Also, he has a group of friends who help fuel his platform.
Absolutely.
And they don't play ball, but they're young businessmen. So, you guys can be in the same boat.
Right.
A lot of them, they didn't even go to college. They just learned the game.
Right. And everybody played their position.
Rich Paul didn't go to college. His father was the guy up there in Akron, Ohio. You know what I mean? And he just put him through good schools.
Right.
And
that's the key.
Good schools put our children in good schools. And he got groomed once LeBron got to the NBA. He got groomed. By the agent. The agents groomed him.
Right. So for you, right? When you speak of the whole entrepreneurial thing, can you tell us through barbering what entrepreneurial avenues have you created for yourself? Being a barber and taking that and piggybacking that, kind of like in the hip hop industry where we talk about Jay started out, dropping bars and turned into
real estate. Real estate.
So tell us a little bit about that.
In Philadelphia, when properties were ran down, when nobody wanted to live in these neighborhoods, my mentor, he got into real estate early in the 90s. So he was
Okay.
buying the distressed property, and he was rehabbing the distressed property, and he was buying it and redoing it over, reconstruction and selling it, and making a nice margin, the profit and stuff like that. And he sold a bunch of houses. So I looked at that, what I'm saying, and I got involved a little bit myself with that. You know what I mean? To find distressed property, you fix it and you sell it. You make a profit. And like I said, I did that. That's why I was able to buy, a property for $500,000. You know what I mean?
Yes,
just through real estate and barbering. You put it together. It runs hand in hand.
Wow.
So that's some of the stuff. Like I was able to do that. Of course, in the ad agency space. I took my knowledge working with the Roots, and I scored an opportunity with Gillette.
Okay.
Gillette is one of the is going to always be a part, was always and still is a part of the barbershop community with shaving cream. So, like I told them, y'all products have always been in the barber space. When I first started Gillette, and so this is my conversation while I'm talking to corporate. Y'all always been a part of the barber community.
Right.
And I want to be the barber that translate that again for another 100 years. I want to be in the history books.
Right.
Talking about that, or a student studying me, talking about me. He was in the history book.
Right.
Yes, he worked for Gillette, and he opened the door and pioneered it for us. Some other children.
So like with Gillette, exactly what is your position? How does that work with your partnership?
They started a group of us. It's like maybe 10 of us called the Barber Council. I was influential. Being the first barber that they brought aboard for that. They put us in great space with their partners, the local Boys and Girls Club of America. We go and cut hair for the underprivileged kids. They put us in that media space, Gillette, to market their brand. You know what I mean? Like, because before, African Americans were skeptical about using Gillette. You know what I'm saying? Like Gillette didn't have a face. It had a face. It was a Caucasian gentleman. You know what I mean? But I wanted to put culture on that. You know what I mean? Put culture on Gillette.
Right.
Culture, the African American culture, and that's my spot there. Helping with marketing and their ads and stuff like that, internet ads, and building commercials and building content. I got some pretty good heat that's about to come out that they're going to put out. That's going to be really nice. So just look for that. I love creating. I help create ads. For Gillette, preferably the African American community. Like this one particular razor, the Skin Guard, is safe to use for African Americans. They're going to believe me because not only I'm promoting it, like I really use the razor, and I don't have no breakouts or nothing like that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And so is another avenue of that entrepreneurial aspect that, like, I've seen all the clippers, that you sell. Of course, I bought a pair from you. You modify blades, and so is that another aspect?
That's another avenue. I mean, like I said, these brands, they have been in existence for so many years. Now they are allowing us as entrepreneurs, barbers, to align with them. You got Kenny Duncan. He's the master educator at Andy's Clipper Company.
Absolutely,
which Ivan Zoot held for so many years. He's a white guy. Now you have African American in position, and Kenny is very well spoken, and he holds that thing down. And Kenny knows how to cut very well, articulate a cut very well. I look at him. He helped me out. That's my friend. He helped me out. I don't want to step on his toes, but there are other clipper companies that are coming about. So one I did Caliber Clippers. Caliber's a pretty good brand that's coming about. As an Asian brand company, and there's talks of me being a master educator for them.
That's what's up.
So that's a position that I will be interested in. Now people order them clippers, they all around the world from me. They I'm touching people that they can't touch.
And,
So
and it's interesting, not to cut you off, but I was at Bronner Brothers in 2019, right? And they had a vendor booth, and people really didn't know, but
nobody know.
right, but kind of moving it and putting somebody as an ambassador that looks like us and know what we want is definitely a smart move, man.
And that's the entrepreneur,
Yep.
avenue that you were speaking of and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
Let me do that. And this is what I'm telling the owner of the company.
Right.
Let me do that.
Right. Right.
You sit back, do what you got to do. Let me do that.
Right.
So I can help my people.
That's what's up.
I help my people, put them in position. You know what I mean?
That's
Because roof roll, all that stuff is ours. The straightening comb and all of that.
Right.
African Americans invented that.
Right. Right.
The individuals that invented that stuff, dead and gone. I know they invented it. So it's like, yo, let me get that. That belongs to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like it really do. So it's like, let me put the next young man, young woman in position. This is ours. I mean, it's not physically ours, but the idea, the invention, it's ours.
Right.
This is ours, and y'all keep that same thing up. What it was supposed to do,
right?
Into ownership. You know what I mean? You into ownership, and so on and so on and so on.
Right.
Go rescue.
And just that creativeness behind it, because they can create a product, but when you put it in our hands, we take it to another level.
Exactly, and I have did that with some brands. Like I was the first person in his own record with beard oil.
Okay.
With co-label, Mr. John Jefferson out in California.
Okay.
I met John when I was in Vegas. I went to an exotic barber battle, and he had a nice booth set up in Vegas.
Okay.
And my whole thing is, I said, I'm going out to Las Vegas. I'm going to get me a sponsorship deal from somebody. I don't know who it is, but I bumped into John Jefferson. We didn't know each other at the time, but we had like a mutual friend, little young brother used to work for him.
Okay.
And he said, I know you. I know all about you. I'm like, damn, you know about me? All right. What you got over here? He had a nice setup, his co-label products, his pomades and his oils and all that stuff. Real nice guy. Clean. Right. He had a clean setup. Right. So I was like, he gave me a sample of everything. I said, dude, if I like this stuff, I'm gonna go home, use it, freak it. If I like it, I'm gonna start buying bulk from you.
Okay.
You're African American, you're black, and I'm black. So let's do this thing together. Right. So I was just buying mad. I used the oil. I loved it. Put the shine on my beard. You know what I mean? So and I was buying mad cases from him, just selling them.
Okay.
Making a profit.
Right.
So he came to me one time, I think it was 2013, 2014. He said, man, is it all right if I put your name on my bottle? So this is before I was thinking about any deals, paperwork, lawyers, anything like that. I just wanted to get my name out there. So I just said, go ahead. And so the trade-off was, I'll take care of you on, buying in bulk. I'll knock you down from wholesale to distributors cost.
Okay.
So I said, all right, cool with me, you know what I mean? And it blew.
Right.
He said, you took the least sold product in my brand, which was the bully beard.
Mm-hmm.
It's from zero, from one even used to number one. Like we sell so much because of you.
Wow.
You know what I mean? The culture. You know what I mean? Now you have
absolutely
big brands and big companies. Everybody got beard oil.
Right.
You see beard oil in Rite Aid, CVS, Walgreens, Target,
Walmart.
You see it.
Right.
And it's all from myself. You know what I mean? I created a platform for beard oil. You know what I mean?
What's up.
And like I said, I didn't really fully profit from it, but I got my name out there tremendously.
Right.
So I'm very thankful. I'm just very thankful.
That's what's up.
So can you just for the listeners, and I definitely want to stay on task, but just now that you are in a position to communicate and do business with big companies, can you just articulate when is it better for somebody up and coming to take that approach that you did with the beard oil and then kind of communicate when it's time to like, okay, now the business got to be right. You got to compensate.
Your business got to be right first and foremost at your home base.
Okay.
You know, you got to have your paperwork right. You definitely got to have your paperwork right. You know what I mean? Everything's about numbers. You know what I'm saying? Everything you do is about numbers. So, you know, you want to be reputable. You know what I mean? Like reputable. So, you know what I mean? You just want to have your stuff you don't want to have your stuff in order. You want to have your character in order, your character. You want to know how to speak to people and stuff like that, how to carry yourself, present yourself in these meetings and talking to companies. Because, you know, I was told when I first went to Gillette, they told me, said, we never met nobody like you. We never met nobody like you, you know, preferably color. And I understood what she was saying, color, and someone that speaks and talk like you.
Right.
And, you know, I was like, wow. Well, I'm interested in you guys. You guys are interested in me, which I am. I'm interested in you guys, you know what I mean? Because, you know, the Black culture is very, very strong and prestigious. And, you know, I myself want to keep taking that approach to like a LeBron James and keep approaching Fortune 5 companies and you know, keep opening the doors for the African American community, you know, inventors and people that are strong. And like I said, the young lady told me, she said, we never met nobody like you. And I was ecstatic, like, dang, man, like I felt like, yo, I really made it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially when somebody of power told me that, like, we never met nobody like you.
Right.
So I have had some very good opportunities with Gillette razors.
Right.
Razor company.
So to piggyback off of his question, like I said, coming in when with the bio, you know, you're extremely acclaimed. How have you, you know, become so well respected in, you know, just your reputation in the industry? Do you go to hair shows? Like what's that connection? I mean, we know you're good with the clippers.
I invested in myself, like I told any barber. If you want a certain status, you got to spend your money. You got to spend your money. You have to invest in yourself. You have to go to these shows. Okay? When you go to these shows, you have to buy products from the vendors. You have to present yourself.
Right.
This is how you, quote unquote, get on or put me on. You got to go and present yourself with the same character, the same exact background that your family put into you. You have to present that. This is how you get to where you need to be as far as business.
Right. So it kind of goes back to what you said earlier. It's not necessarily, you know, what you know, but who you know. Just creating those relationships.
You know. And like I said, first thing is your family. You know what I mean? You know your family. You know your family. So, you know, if you want to put on the same responsibilities, the same relationship you built with just coming out of your family, you know, how you treat your community, how you talk to people, stuff like that, man. You got to keep that same energy in order you want to be successful.
No doubt. Okay. So I go ahead, James.
No, I'll just since you have 30 years, and pretty much it's been your life for a long time. Was it difficult adapting to the social media culture?
I mean, I wasn't in it. I wasn't on Black Planet or on MySpace. I wasn't on that stuff.
For sure.
I didn't use none of that. So my wife, she was on Facebook, of course. She said, you should get on here. You know, I got on and went crazy. I started sharing my barber pictures. So all the barbers that would follow the Solid Gold magazine, everybody had accounts on Facebook. So, you know, they start seeing like the pictures and stuff like that, the captions, and it just blew. It blew. Because now, from a magazine perspective, from a magazine's perspective, now you're actually meeting the people that follow you.
Right.
You know, they follow you on Facebook. And it just blew. Like I got all the way to maybe about 10,000 followers on Facebook. You know what I mean? I capped it out. And they had restrictions on it. They knocked me down to 5,000. So, I was able to get the top of that. It just, went to the show to start meeting people, start talking to people.
Right. And that's the key. Yeah, I that was my first show, the 2019 Bronner Brothers. And it was just a whole nother world for me. Just the networking, the interacting, the brotherhood, just seeing so many of us doing big things, you know what I mean? And networking and trying to pull each other up. It was an unforgettable experience. And for me, once this opens back up,
you know what I mean?
It's
The Bonner
going
Brothers,
down.
So the Bonner Brothers didn't translate to the small shoes.
Okay.
You had Curtis with the exotic barber battle. Then you had Nor and Najee with the Major League Barber Show.
Okay.
So they turned these stuff into tours. They turned this stuff into educational tours. I was working on both tours, exotic and Major League. And I wasn't asking for no pay or nothing like that. I just was just happy to be there. I would use my own money, invest my own money, and go to these shows, and just start running around the country with them.
Right.
And start touching people. Like I said, working with the roots. I looked at how they did it.
Right.
And it's like I put that into barbers' terms.
Right.
Barber.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? To start making it happen for myself.
That's what's up. Okay. Well, I got just a couple more questions.
I'm cool.
One of the questions. Okay. As a barber, a veteran barber, I know, and you sell, you modify clippers. So I know you've touched almost every clipper in the game. Give me your rundown of your top 5 all-time clippers.
My top 5 all-time clippers. I'll start with the Wall.
Okay.
The Wall Senior. Wall.
Okay. Wall
that was like a lot of us first clipper. Because you had the Wall for $19.99, $29.99.
Right.
That was the first home set that everybody used.
Right.
And you can just you can shape up with it. You can do whatever you want with it. You can cut with it. You can shape up with it.
Right.
So that was like number one. The Wall. The Wall was number one. Right. Then once I started making money, I went to Andis.
Okay.
I put the Andis outliner.
Okay.
Wall and Andis is like they used to be partners years ago.
Okay, I didn't know that.
They broke and went separate ways. You know what I mean? So they're always going to be a perfect marriage.
Right.
The Wall Senior, the Andis outliner too.
Right.
Always be a perfect marriage.
Right.
Number 3, you got to go with the Masters.
Okay.
Okay. When I learned that the Masters have the surgical blade for sculpting.
Yes, sir.
And box haircuts. They sculpt the best haircut. The round,
absolutely.
The Gumby, do whatever you want with that.
Right.
That's number 3.
You took it back to the Gumby, huh?
Right. It's Philadelphia, EST,
yes,
3 times dope. So then you got, you moved up. You bought the detachable clippers. The 76s, the 111s, things of that nature. That's like number 4. When you learn how to cut, when you learn how to use calibrations cutting hair, like the 1.5, the 2, the 3, things of that nature.
Right.
That was more so like in the correctional institutions. They use those, but once it hit like the street, like I said, the 1.5 was like easy to use those and to cut hair, cut wavelength cuts.
Right.
So you didn't have to adjust it. You just switch the blade.
Right.
One of my other favorites, all-time favorites. I'm so sad they don't make this clipper no more. The Speedmasters, the burgundy from the 90s. There was a combination between having a lighter master, which was I got 3 of them. They don't even make them anymore. So I sit on 3 of them. Everybody want to buy them from me, Rob.
Right.
I'll be teasing everybody when I post it. I got 3 of them. I own 3 of them.
Okay.
So it's a throwback clipper. They don't make it no more. I was able to fish through the country, and somebody sent me one for free. Then I bought like.
Okay.
So that's a very powerful clipper. It's not in existence, not in publication no more. In production, not publication, in production anymore. And I own 3 of them. Sometimes, time to time, I'll use them, but I just do like videos and stuff like with them.
Right, collector's item, huh?
Yeah, they collector's item. Yeah, I would never sell them though.
Okay. So what are your going forward? What are your aspirations? Like, do you want to open up more shops? Get into more education? What is it that you want to do?
Like I said, I don't want to open no more shops. I'm fine with what I have. I got 3
Okay.
sections in my building.
Okay.
Education, for one. The media space is what I want to work in, media.
Okay.
Yeah, the media space is what, I want to be in. Which I am one of the local media outlets here. It's called Visit Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's the biggest hotel tourism platform in Philadelphia. They handle all the hotel packages, so they do a lot of media here in Philadelphia, and I have taken part in that.
Okay. What's up? So you're just trying to get to that media side.
Yeah.
Okay.
And be a media personality, and Philadelphia, and culture.
Right.
It's something that I'll be a part of.
Right. So will you cut as long as your hands and your body allow you to?
I mean, that too. And just be on platforms. I just did last year, which was the first time out. Like I said, I went on my own after the Roots.
Okay.
I did YouTube with GQ magazine. And it was the first. It was the first for them. They had like another gentleman. There was a new series they was trying to pitch for their platform, a barber cutting. So they hired one gentleman. They did a video for him.
Okay.
And it did like 300,000 views in 4 months. Like 4 months, it was up.
Okay.
Like 4 months, did like 300,000 views. I got contacted. Like I said, the African American culture is very strong. I got contacted. I got blessed to work on the platform. I shot one video, was make me look like. They wanted me to make a customer look like James Harden. Like somebody come in and say, "Yo, I want a James Harden style haircut with a mohawk." Okay. So I did that. Mm-hmm. And they published that, and that did 400,000 views in 24 hours.
Wow.
Then maybe Tuesday evening, hit a million views on that platform.
Wow.
So that was like the first time out. It was very big. Wow. It was a big hit for them. Then I got called back for 2020 last year, around this time last year, actually, to shoot some more for them. They wanted 3 more. So I shot 3 of those, and I shot another one. So I shot like 5 videos for them. And right now it's sitting since last year at 6 million views total.
Wow.
For GQ magazine. So with that, other ad agencies would look at that as me as an influencer. Now I'm an influencer. I'm an influencer in culture now. I just in the summertime I got verified Instagram, the blue check on there. I get calls from other ad.
My partner seen that. I didn't. I'm not too familiar with it. He was like, man, he was like, he solidified. He got the check on it.
Yeah. So that was a blessing.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, since then, I done got contacted I did some work for Disney. Actually, I did some work for Disney. They wanted me to promote Michael Jordan's The Last Dance. They had put it on Blu-ray, a box set.
Okay.
I mean, you could fish through it. You could Google it. It's out there. I did that, and I did a commercial. I could actually say I did a commercial for ESPN.
Wow. And see, all this information that you're giving us, for me, it's not stunning. It's showing our viewers, our listeners, and even people like myself who's a barber, what is possible if you put in the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you believe in God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, God has blessed you with these opportunities, but it doesn't come without working hard. You know what I'm saying? But anything is possible. Yeah.
I mean,
anything is possible.
You could Google the video. It's out there.
Okay.
I did very well with that.
Okay.
Like I said, just recently, Amazon contacted me.
Okay.
This is great. I'm gonna share this with you guys. Coming to America 2.
Yes, sir.
I got an opportunity again to ask to do some marketing and advertising work for Coming to America 2.
Wow.
And Coming to America is influential.
Absolutely.
Especially with the barbershop.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Clarence. So you definitely I'm definitely looking forward to do to do that platform.
Okay. So that's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, we're going to start working on that. And I think next week.
Okay.
So I'm ready.
So you okay. Look at
I'm ready.
McDowell's. Huh?
I'm ready.
McDowell's, huh? That's what's up.
I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
Man, well, good luck with that.
So,
So for me, man.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just
No,
rounding
sure.
out my last one. This is a question we started asking barbers the last few podcasts. I'm just curious, especially with your years in the game. If from any era, and from a cultural standpoint, you speak a lot on culture. If from any era there was one individual that you could put in your chair and cut at least one time, who would it be?
Gerald Levert.
And why is that?
He had the beard. He had the beard. He had the whole Philly look. And you want to hear this? His father started out in Philly with the OJs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Sound of Philadelphia with Kenny Gamble and Huff. They used to write for the OJs.
Okay.
And Gerald's father had his beard and stuff like that. Like I said, the beard, the 70s.
Right.
So it would be Gerald Levert.
Okay.
You know, he always was nice, always had a beard. Plus, like one of my favorite R&B artists.
Okay.
You know,
that came out quick and easy.
I mean, I'm seasoned, man.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. All right.
So
Jinx, go ahead.
I just got a few questions.
Come on.
Is there anything that you have to say no to, or are you just been blessed to have all these opportunities and it's
I said no to one just recently. They wanted me to work. They wanted me to do something for free. The movie Soul.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Disney Plus.
They wanted me to do something for free.
Right.
But knowing like I know, I'm like, listen, y'all get a budget.
Yeah.
For marketing and advertising, y'all do.
Right.
And y'all want to keep the money in your pocket.
Right.
So I had to turn that down because it's like, you know, we want you to do it for free. And I'm like, I did something for free for y'all already. You know, with the barbershop movie. When they came to Philadelphia, I did that for free. I didn't ask for no money. I had an opportunity to meet Ice Cube, take some photo ops with Ice Cube and stuff like that. And, you know, I helped with that.
Right.
I helped with that.
Right.
So, you know, it wasn't a nasty no. I just said, you know, just like not right now. Like I'm like kind of busy working on some other stuff.
Right.
And like, you know, thank you for the opportunity and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Because like I said, working for, you know, a great company is Gillette. You know, and they give you the opportunity to show your worth. Right. So working in that space, you know, it just, you know, I had to, you know, like to turn that down quietly.
Right. Very understandable.
All right.
Yeah. Didn't want to, but I was like, I got to make some money.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
that was like it though.
So okay. My next question is, how long have you been growing your beard?
About 8-9 years, something like that.
8-9 years, okay.
Yeah. But I've been cut. I trimmed it today for my photo shoot.
So when did it get? You know, at what time? Like what year did you really start to see the length and the growth of
probably like 4 years ago.
So 4. Okay.
Yeah, let me say it's about 8, 10. Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago. You know, I just started letting it just grow.
Right.
Just grow. You know what I mean? It's longer than this. You know what I mean? It come all the way down here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I just cut mine off.
It's just curly. You know what I mean? It's just curly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Another question.
Go ahead.
Cheesesteaks. Where can a tourist like me go get the best cheese?
All right. So, I mean, I don't eat cheesesteaks no more.
I figured you didn't. You know,
no, I don't eat them no more. So for years, everybody say Pat's and Geno's in Philadelphia.
Okay.
The Italians down on the Italian market, Passaginos. You know, they're critically worldwide renowned. Renowned. You know, everybody knows them when they come to Philly. They have to be. But to be honest with you, the neighborhood pizza stores around the corner have the cheesesteak that tastes better than that.
Yeah, because
that's like an assembly line. They give you the steak, they give you the bread, they put cheese whiz or American cheese on it. My mother loved these sandwiches, but it's like the local pizza store has the best cheesesteak.
So are they still like? I mean, like you said, with Philly being an Islamic community and just big on that, is that just a tourist thing, or do the locals still rock?
It's a tourist thing. It's a tourist thing.
Okay.
You know, so only tourists ask about cheesesteaks.
Okay.
Who got the best cheesesteak? It's just so big in Philly. You know what I mean? The cheesesteak is so world known.
Right.
The Philly cheesesteak. So even when brothers, they'll fly into town just to get a cheesesteak, but say, "Yo, I want a haircut from Faheem."
No doubt.
So that's another thing. It's like, okay, I want my name in barbering to be like the Philly cheesesteak.
That's what's up. So
it's culturally is like that now.
Right.
You know, I'm flying to town, I'm come get a haircut from Faheem, but yo, I want a cheesesteak too.
Right.
And it's like that. People paint stories and make stories up like that.
That's what's up.
No, I never knew how much I was culturally influenced. Like I didn't know that until I went to Los Angeles 1 year with the Roots. They were shooting the Jimmy Fallon show out there, and I was just on social media. Then the brother, I went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Okay, I took a picture of Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and I put it up. So a brother inboxed me. He said, "Brother, are you really in Los Angeles?" I was, "Yeah, I'm here." He said, he texted me back on Instagram. He said, "It'd be a pleasure if I get a haircut from you." So I'm like, huh? Now I always got my tools with me. I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. I said, "Yeah." Now I'm not afraid to go to any community. I'm from the inner city, like any other inner city.
Right.
Now, I got respect. I know about the color things and all of that stuff like that. But they know if you're not from there. They know that.
Right.
So, I said, "Brother, just give me your address. You know what I mean? I'll come to your house to come and cut your hair."
Right.
So when I got there, he gave me the address. I said, "Yeah, I'm only 20 minutes away." He lived in not Watts, not Riverside. He lived in Compton.
Sure.
And I drove out there. And I always wanted to know about Compton, okay, from NWA.
Right.
Yo, so I'm like a Philly cheesesteak, but yo, what a Compton sign at the NWA was standing there.
Yeah.
Right.
I want a picture with that, just like them.
Right.
I got a picture. He's standing in front of the Compton sign, the real one. They changed it, but I'm in front of the Compton sign, like NWA.
Right.
Like, man, like stuff that I always wanted to do, I did through barbering.
That's
so
what's up.
I went to the brother's house, and he was a Muslim brother, nice brother, real nice brother. We still keep in contact today.
Okay. And
he said, "Man, I watch you from social media 3,000 miles every single day."
Wow.
And he said, "Me and you got something in common." He said, "We collect sneakers." I'm like, he showed me sneaker collection. I'm like, "Damn, for real, man." I'm like, "Wow, this is cool." So I was really digging it. So he was a widow. He was a father, just lost his wife, and he was raising three boys in Southern California as a single father. And all of them played baseball. All of them played baseball, organized baseball. Sports is so huge out there in South Central and Watts and all the smaller towns out there in Southern California. It's so huge. And he was a very, very nice brother. And I cut his hair. He said, "Yo," he had a beard. So he said, "Man, I want that Philly beard, man."
Right.
He said, "Because we don't get that out here. We don't get that out here." He said, "Them sharp lines y'all be doing." He said, "We don't get that out here. They don't do that out here."
Right.
So I was ecstatic, man. And I did his hair. I did his hair. I did his kid's hair. Shaped him up real nice, man. Shaped his beard up. I said, "That's what you want?" He said, "Yeah, that's it right there, man. That's it right there. The Philly beard." So, I was like happy, man. And he said, at the fin, I serviced him and his kids. I swept up, cleaned up, man. He said, "How much do I owe you, man?" I told him, "Nothing. You don't owe me anything, man. Nothing. This is a tremendous experience for myself.
Right.
Meeting someone just like me 3,000 miles away, and you accepted me in your home around your children. That's so huge to me.
That's super huge.
Huge, man.
Yeah,
Then, you know, like I said, he was a practicing Muslim as well as myself. And he said, well, could you do me a favor, brother? I said, what's that, man? He said, could you make salat in my house with me? Make prayer, Islamic prayer in my house.
Okay.
Like, man, this is what it's about, man.
Right.
Then, like, it was just awesome, you know. Then, since then, when I was out in LA, another gentleman called me. He lived in Inglewood, regular residence.
Right.
You know, could you, you know, come out and, could you do the trash and stuff? You know, said, you know, could you cut my hair? I'm going to people's houses, man. You know what I'm saying? Total strangers, you know, accepted me into their own, in their neighborhood, their homes. And another brother, you know, same brother prior, he said, man, yo, man, I want to take you around, meet my mom, man. You know what I'm saying? My mom would cook some dinner and all of that, man. I had my man Buck the barber for me from Maryland.
Right.
He flew out there, met me, and we went to their house, man. They had dinner for us, bro. Food, and I'm like, damn, like this is amazing. All through barbering.
That's the epitome of cutting my way out.
Always from being a little kid from South Philadelphia, man, that asked my mother to buy me a pair of clippers. Right. And when I said take care of us, I mean I meant it.
So you meant
take care of us.
And you know, our podcast platform is called I Cut My Way Out. And those are the stories.
You got the right person to speak on whatever episode this is. I just told you how I cut myself out.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Now, as we rounded off, we started and we talked about COVID, right? And I'm just coming off of it, man. And I had a serious bout, man, and it was serious. We got a lot of people, especially in our communities, man, you know, got their, you know, conspiracy theorists, and it's not that serious. It's not this and that. I just want you to end off just giving your experience and telling us a little bit about your experience.
I was one of the ones, I was naive about COVID. Very naive about it. Okay. Just past last year, actually, I got diagnosed with diabetes. Okay. I, you know, didn't know nothing about it. You know what I mean? Asked the doctor, you know, I had all the symptoms, diabetes. And, I asked the doctor how I'll get rid of it. How do I get rid of it? And, you know, lifestyle change. You got to work out. You know, you can reverse the process of it. So since last year, I lost 40 pounds. I dropped down. So I was actively working out every single day for about 8 months.
Congratulations, my brother.
Thank you. And diabetes is like, for me, it was like a gift and a curse. So I was already actively working out. So I was working out on the outside in the park. So I caught pneumonia like in October. Had a bad, you know, pneumonia. Had fluid on my chest and stuff like that. And, so coughing real bad. My wife said, "You got COVID." I said, "You don't get out of my face with that stuff." So I went in the hospital. I found out I had pneumonia. So I said, while I'm here, just give me the COVID test, you know, and came back positive. So I said, all right, what's next? Then I just got sick, like within like 48 hours. I just started getting the chills and getting sick and stuff like that. So it's real, man.
Absolutely.
Real. So with me working out and stuff like that, it helped me beat it. My lungs were healthy. My heart was healthy because I was already actively working out, you know, taking my, you know, diabetic medicine and stuff like that, you know, working on my comeback. So, you know, that helped me overcome that, you know. Of course, I went in and I had to take the medicine, the remdesivir that they put you on. So I took that. Was only on. I was fine in 3 days. That stuff wiped the ammonia out, pneumonia. COVID, diarrhea, with all that stuff, you know, it wiped it out. Right. So, you know, I've been, just like I said, on a comeback like you. I've been fine, like ever since then, you know, back to working out because they shut the gyms down COVID here in Philadelphia. But they have since opened since the New Year. So, you know, I'm back at it every single day. 5 nights a week, you know, going to the gym and stuff like that. Just trying. I'm 40 now. So when you turn 40 years old, that's when you start having your health problems.
Absolutely.
So it's like time to come in for an oil change. You know, I never knew about your kidneys and your pancreas and your
Mm-hmm.
liver, your filter system.
Right.
Preferably, us being men, that's our
Right.
filter system. That's our temple.
Right.
Like we have to take care of that.
Right.
Like
Right.
you can't be
No doubt.
you can't be drinking soda pops and all of that stuff and
Right.
eating the fried foods. Like that's not real. Like you can't keep
Right.
putting stuff in your system, the bad
Right.
foods, because it has to filter through your
Absolutely.
temple. Through your temple.
Right.
It's like
Absolutely.
it's like a car engine. You cannot put diesel fuel inside of a gas tank
Right.
of a regular
Right.
car.
Right.
It's not going to work anymore. So
Right.
right now I'm a lot more health cautious about what I eat. Exercising every day, something they tell you as a child. Like you're really supposed to do that stuff. You got to do that stuff religiously and keep it up.
Right. Right.
One gentleman that I knew walking past the barbershop for quite a while, like I seen him, and he was always healthy.
Right.
But then I seen him. I said, you got a prosthetic on now. I said, what happened? No, I said, you got diabetes? He was like, yeah. And he said, and I'm on dialysis. And he said, I was like, wow. And that's the same thing that I started out with.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, I only thought fat people
Mm-hmm.
catch diabetes.
Mm.
And then I'm like, no, sir, they don't. Be like the food and stuff that you eat. Now, a lot of people aren't educated or know the severe complications of diabetes. Yes, you can lose your leg, you can lose limbs and stuff like that.
Lose your sight.
An older gentleman, so he didn't even get a chance to start working out, to take his life back from diabetes. He didn't even get a chance.
Right.
So for me, I kind of like quote unquote, counsel, some obese like clients that I have and talk to them about, getting back in the gym. Take your life back from obesity. Take your life back from diabetes. Before, when it comes type 1, that's a different story. That's when you got to take insulin. But if you're type 2, you have a chance to reverse the process to get your weight down, to get your A1C down, so you don't have to take the metformin, get off the medication and stuff like that. I have the opportunity to do that. Like I said, I asked my doctor what I got to do to get rid of it. She told me. I came down 40 pounds, and like I said, I'm still working on it, but I'm going to work out for the rest of my life.
And that's probably done wonders for you behind the chair too. Just getting that 40 pounds off.
Yes, because that's all what us barbers do. We just eat on the run.
Absolutely.
So I don't do that no more. Eat on the run. Like I eat my breakfast in the morning. I eat my lunch. I did a little snack here and there. You know what I'm saying? But I like that. And I eat dinner at night. But as far as ordering that Philly cheesesteak and stuff like that and French fries, like I'm all right.
See, it's all good.
Anymore. Eating that Chick-fil-A and all of that stuff. I'm okay. Nope, I tell myself that's the devil. I'm all right. Yeah,
no doubt.
I can keep that.
No doubt.
I got one more current event question. Just with the election and in Philly, Pennsylvania, Philly in particular was lost. I'm not gonna say lost in the shuffle, but we all know about what Georgia was able to do. But with Philly, showing up and showing out at the polls, and with you just being a community, a community staple, and as far as just being an owner and things of that nature, how important is politics as far as what you do, and and just with the shop being in a community?
Politics are very important. We have 2 seats here. Well, 1 seat in Philadelphia. You have district council. The first district council. That's Mr. Kenyatta Johnson. He's from this area. He's born and raised in this area, and there's a very big seat in this community, and that's a very important seat. And he's like the first African American to hold that seat, and he gets a lot of support from the community. So that's very important. Of course, him, helping. He helps the voters get out to go vote for Joe Biden, the African American community. Then you got I can't think of his name for nothing, but he's our state representative. He represents this area for Philadelphia. Damn, I can't think his name is.
So yeah, I
Can't think of his
understand.
name, but you know,
Just-
these are two brothers that actually that I cut their hair. And Jordan Harris is his name. Jordan Harris. He's gonna kill me here. Jordan Harris is his name.
I'm gonna tag him. So
yeah. Jordan Harris. You know, he has a seat in the state building, Harrisburg, a state representative. And you know, these are very powerful situations that African Americans that I know personally have these seats. And you know, they do a lot for the community, help the community.
So I mean, yeah. So just so the whole the voting and I mean, how did you feel when the other? I don't even want to say the other side, but just
I know
when people were questioning the authenticity of the voter
the other
turnout.
gentleman. I mean, like I said, man, everything is upbringing. And you know, he may have had a decent upbringing as far as money, but as far as, you know, touching the people, I don't think he never ever got a chance to do that and understood, you know, touching the people. You know, I don't think that gentleman ever had that outside of money, cash money, but actually physically touching somebody, making somebody's day. I don't really think the gentleman had that opportunity to do that.
Right. Just that moral fiber. He lacked that 100%.
So leading up to the election, it was because, like you mentioned, the senator and the House and the state rep, you know, it was a real
it was a
topic of discussion.
The black culture definitely played a part. The women, very powerful women, you know, helped that gentleman get in office, man. I just hope everything just works out for them.
For sure, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Well, Asha, I'm done.
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing. I always say this to our guests, and you have to. I have to say it to you. We love to, in due time, you know, do this again and have a part 2.
I mean, anytime.
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah. You know, we're gonna keep grinding and we're gonna definitely be on our ascension and we definitely. You know, this is, I think, our 15th episode, and rocking with us when it may not be popular to do so. So we definitely thank you.
Just let me know when y'all edit it and put it together. So
absolutely,
I can, definitely put a link up. You know, my bio, catch the show.
Absolutely.
You know, definitely try to help you. Where I can help you guys at.
Absolutely, sure. I appreciate it. And let me also say, man, just reaching out to you, man. Just your humble spirit, man. You being willing to take time out. It's just big, man. We greatly appreciate it. You know, sometimes when you have people who have a platform such as yours, they're not as approachable and not as humble, man. So just to respond, man, being a fan, a follower of your work, man, I just want to say that we greatly appreciate it. You dig?
You welcome, man.
Greatly appreciate it, man.
You definitely welcome, man. I definitely appreciate you reaching out to me.
Absolutely.
You know, so we can get this thing right.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Right.
Well, we will definitely be in touch, man. I will shoot you the link. So we do everything a week in advance, so it won't drop this Monday, but it'll drop the following Monday, and I'll hit you, and I'll more than likely be at you for those liners as well, those trimmers.
All right. Yeah, so we can put it. Okay, got you. Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys.
All right.
Okay.
Ken,
appreciate you.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate you, right?
All
right. I appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate
it.
All right.
That is the I Cut My Way Out podcast. Great episode with @Father Barber. Follow him on Instagram. You're probably going to liking spree. Again, I Cut My Way Out. We're everywhere where you can listen to podcasts, most notably YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn. You know, just hit your search engine and put I Cut My Way Out podcast. We should be right there, number 1 on the search engine. So
lastly, I always on our way out just like to thank the Clipper companies, the Wall, the Andes, the Ulster, Babliss, Caliber, everybody who gives us a chance as barbers to do what we do.
Since Five's with us, Gillette. We're gonna give a shout out to
Gillette.
Don't put them on.
Right. And Gillette as well. Just everybody.
Y'all have a good evening, okay?
All right, you do the same, my brother.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
Another one in the books, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I Cut My Way Out. That was @Father Barber. Go follow him. He's doing some big things. He's a heavy hitter in the game, and for us, that's huge to have a brother like that, early in our journey to come on and chop it up. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Just
so
humble spirit. And we've had some big heavy hitters, man, and we just um keep rising with it. You know what I
yes,
mean?
yeah,
It's a lot of people that aren't necessarily approachable, and I understand. You contacting people in their DMs, people are skeptical sometimes and reluctant. But for those who are rocking with us, we greatly appreciate it. Won't stop, and I guarantee you, we'll continue to have people as we grow to rock with us and see that what we're doing is out of our heart. We're passionate about what we're doing, and I think it shows, and it'll continue to show.
absolutely. So
Yes,
that's a
sir.
wrap. I cut my way out. Check us out. Until next time, peace.
Hard times, my mom had to do it all, working 2 jobs to provide while I pursue the ball. Hoop dreams, no problem doing my own thing. Stepped in the world to get a win for the home team. Laced the sneakers for the crowd in the bleachers. This might get away from the lesson life teaches, but 5'9" don't follow the league guideline. Heart of a champ, but I gotta tuck my pride now. Off to college for the knowledge, try my hand at math. But one call from back home really changed my path. My firstborn, now I got a mouth to feed. Told the Southeast I got a whole new route to lead. Young father, odd jobs, every day is real. Turn to the streets to try to eat or maybe pay a bill. Not proud of it, but I got it cooking good. But prison time on the mind wasn't looking good. I can't afford the price, so I tried the corporate life. Something wasn't sitting right, every night I'm tossing light. They don't appreciate all my hard work, so I went ahead and jumped, let the Lord work. Beer culture 2020, yeah, we taking over. From the Clippers to the hoodies that be draping over. I put the Clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. Yeah, I put the Clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. Cut my way out. Tryna cut my way out.